polishing, sanding, even shaping on brass. Sorry guys, get my camera in play here. So finally here at work, and I do these casts to show you guys kind of how to do things in real time so that we can see any mistakes, we can see any of the problems that you really run into, because I think a lot of what we deal with today is that everything's kind of produced and everything's curated, and you get this illusion about how easy things are, you know? So bear with me here as I kind of move my camera around here, and I'm gonna get you guys into a good position. And I apologize, I forgot to bring my microphone. So we're gonna be doing this microphone-less, and that's okay, as I try and get you guys going on here. So just give me just 1 second while I get things loaded up. So some of the stuff we're gonna do, we'll be taking this angled brass, we're gonna polish it up, we're gonna sand it, we're gonna make it look beautiful into a high wash shine. We've got a bullnose piece of brass as well. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to shape this, how we sand all this kind of stuff, get the mill marks out, and then polish it up. So if you guys go back in my stream, you'll see that I've done one of these before where I showed you guys how to polish and sand flat brass, right? So now we're gonna do something that's got a little bit of shape to it. I'll show you guys exactly how it's done. We're gonna use different kinds of sandpapers, we're gonna use different kinds of polishes, we're gonna use different kinds of methods to sand all these things up. We'll need things like double-sided tapes and various other things. We got, of course, our Festool sander, we're gonna use a little bit of sander, and it should be a lot of fun. Like I said, I enjoy doing these videos for you guys. I enjoy showing you guys how to do the real work. And if we get enough people here in the stream, I'll go over and I'll show you guys the desk that all the stuff's gonna go on. So we just finished finished painting the desk. It has 3 heavy coats of lacquer on it. It shines like a Steinway piano. And when you put your brilliant brass on top of highly glossy black, it just looks beautiful, you know? And so if you'll indulge me for a second, one of the things in business that I don't think people give enough attention to or enough thought to is desire, right? And the word that I like to use to describe more than anything is lust. I don't hear enough people talk about people lusting after their product. And 92% of my clients are women, and let me tell you, women lust after shiny stuff, right? Whether that's diamonds or shiny furniture in my case. So when you give them something like a polished brass or a highly polished and glossy piece of furniture, they're like moths to a flame. They love to have it, they gotta have it, they want it, they desire it, the whole 9 yards. And so if you wanna make money in the furniture space, you want to get a high margin product, try thinking about desire. Try to think about something that people just really lust after, and then maybe creating that product or service for them, and then make some money, you know? So anyway, just something to think about. So, all right, let's get in here. Like I said, you guys put in the comments, hit the like button, add to the discussion, and we're gonna run through this thing. I'm gonna answer all your questions as I do these streams. I always kind of do the work, and then I do comments, I go back to the work, I do comments, I go back to, and if you guys have any questions, anything you wanna know, please let me know. And again, I apologize for not having my microphone with me today. So if the sound gets messy or there's issues, like I said, put in the comments, and I'll be happy to work on it. So, all right, so we have a whole ton of brass over here, guys. So over here, we've got probably 20 pieces of brass. We got another probably 10 down here. And the two I'm gonna show you guys right at the moment, I said, are these, actually, you know what, we'll look at one more. Let's get a piece of this channel trim. So we have this big piece too, which is U-channel. Okay, you guys see what we got going on there? We got a 45 miter, and then we have a nice channel in here. This actually wraps around the top of the desk, right? So maybe we'll polish this thing up, we'll stick it over there. The top on this desk, guys, is just gorgeous. You can see every detail. It's just like a mirror, except black. And I'll show you guys in the stream. Just hang out, we'll go check it out. Okay, so we got 3 pieces of brass that we're gonna work on today, right? So let's start with, we'll start with our bullnose piece, okay? So essentially we got, I guess it'd be a 1/4 inch radius on this thing. And then we got a 45-degree miter, but you can see that the metal has lots of mill marks on it. We kind of use the light here. Maybe that helps you guys see all the mill marks. Okay, when they extrude this stuff out, you're gonna end up with mill marks. So you can't simply just polish it, right? A lot of people will just polish the stuff on a buffing wheel and then call it good. And what happens is you end up with swirl marks, you end up with machine marks that just get brighter. And that's what we call quality today. It's not quality. In fact, it's junk, right? The quality is the people that take the time to sand out all those mill marks, that take the time to get it down to a beautiful flat surface and then polish it, okay? That's what we're gonna do today. That's what I wanna show you guys. So again, bear with me as I try and give you guys the best angle here. I know I probably don't even have the best light. I was hoping I'd get a little bit more light in on this area, but let's get after it. Okay, so first thing we need, soapy water, right? You gotta have some kind of a lubricant when you're working with metals. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna look for kind of the, see if I can show you guys some mill marks here. So if we look kind of right in here, you guys can see there's a lot of, it's almost like pitting maybe. Pitting might be what I call it. It's not chipping. If it was wood, I guess it'd be chipping, but it's more like pitting. And it's just slightly inconsistent because as you run this stuff along a router, you can route brass, you get a little bit of chatter, right? So that's what we're gonna start to get out. So I'm gonna start with actually my Festool sander, and we'll load up some paper. I'm gonna start with, why don't we start with 800? So everyone likes all the, they wanna know what's the products that we use, what are the different kinds of grits. So I use a lot of 3M Trizact product. I think they got the best sandpaper in the business. It's also the most expensive, but it's worth every penny. It's fantastic stuff. We also use, the Klingspor. Let's see here. This is a 2000 grit Klingspor paper. The company is called Finish Line, right? But it's just a subsidiary of the company Klingspor, which is a German abrasives company. So they sell a lot of pads. Their stuff's moderately priced. This 2000 grits, it's pretty decent stuff. So other stuff that we use, I like Mirka papers. It just kind of depends on what the product is. So right here, this is a 2000 grit Mirka Abralon paper, 2000 grit. It's spongy, which is kind of nice. You don't necessarily need that for metals, but when you're working really large surfaces, it's nice to have a spongy sandy pad. Okay, so last thing, here's some Mirka iridium paper. I'll show you guys this stuff. So this is probably what we'll start with. This is 1000 grit, right? And actually I want to start with 800, so I'm gonna grab a different one. But again, Mirka is very good paper, and it's kind of middle of the road. It's not 3M expensive, it's not Festool expensive, but it's more expensive than your Klingspor paper. So let's find some 800 real quick. What do we got here? What's this? All right, this is 800. So we'll start off with Klingspor paper, 800 grit. Again, it's a little bit spongy. It's got a little bit of felt on the back of it, which gives it just a little bit of give. It's kind of nice. So load our paper up here. And again, you can wet this stuff down. You don't necessarily have to when you're doing the initial sanding, but just for instrumental purposes, we'll go ahead and we'll throw some, gotta get my thing to work here. Throw a little bit of water on this thing, and again, you'll get water going all kinds of places. And so what I'm gonna do is let's get our camera to come down here. And again, guys, sorry I don't have the microphone today like I normally do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to work this thing literally on the edge like so. Get our speed up through it. And we're just going to work this thing over. Any of you guys that have ever sanded bull noses, it's not a side-to-side road, it's a rotational kind of orbital motion, or elliptical motion. That's all that I'm doing. And this is just going to help me to kind of smooth out the edges and any of the high spots, and work my thing down to the pitting. Again, I hope everyone's having a good morning today. We finally got nice weather, which is awesome. So we got 75 degrees and beautiful. So as soon as I'm done with this stream, you can bet your ass I am gonna go drink a beer and enjoy the nice weather. I'm gonna go sit outside on my deck. I'm gonna play my casino games on my phone. I'm going to watch the birds, I'm going to watch the barges go by, and enjoy it, because I think the weather's supposed to go to crap again. So, anyway. Alright, so continue to work on this stuff. And you guys see, I'm not spending a ton of time on it. I'm just kind of starting the process, and we're going to look at it. Because what it's going to do is it's going to take the metal from being kind of shiny to being kind of a satiny flat color, and that'll expose any low spots. Which is what we want to do, because as you increase the shine on anything, it's more important than ever that you not have any dips or any high spots, because all of it shows, right? If you got any pitting, and you can't fill it. It's not like you can throw some Bondo in there and call it good. All right, so we'll start with that. Again, we're going to go through, we'll use tons of rags. If I can get this thing going on here. All right, so wipe this thing down. And what you guys will notice is that I'm not really sanding the flat side, because where we're going to put this particular piece, you're not going to see the flat side. All you're going to see is a little tiny bit below the radius, right, or the tangent point. That's all you're going to see. So, all right, let's see what we got here. So if we look at, going to get you guys, see if I can get you guys a better picture here. Hang out here, because what I want you to see is, if you guys look look in the light, what you're gonna see is right at the top of our bull nose here, you can see we still have a flat spot. You see it's still shiny there? So that's the thing that looks like we gotta get out. So as I look across the top of this thing, really it's not too bad, but that one flat spot there on the end, we need to work that out. So I'm gonna hit this thing one more time with my sandpaper and again, work it out of there and get this thing to where it's nice and flat. And as I look on the sides here, I'm not too worried about the sides. What I wanna do is I wanna have a smooth transition from the radius onto the flat spot. That's kind of all that I'm going for, guys. So I hope that's kind of clear to you guys, kind of makes sense. So let's go through comments real quick and then we'll continue on. All right, first couple comments. So let's see, this is Tumquat. Okay, nice weather. I'm in Seattle with rain. I'm a newer woodworker myself, and I enjoy it. Okay, that's cool. I would say a young medicinal in here. Let's see, me when I'm a meth head. Okay, cool. Again, I talk fast on my streams. I talk fast, I think fast, I work fast. So Seattle, so I'm from Portland, Oregon. A ton of my family lives in Seattle. You know, we go out to Seattle, fairly regularly. But yeah, most beautiful part of the country is the Pacific Northwest. If you ask me, it's just gorgeous what's out there. Seattle is stunning views of Mount Baker and Puget Sound. My family keeps a condo out there, so we got a nice, beautiful view of the Puget Sound and the Ferris wheel when we go down there. It's pretty awesome. But again, glad you're here. And woodworking takes a long time, but man, it's a lot of fun. So lot of therapy in woodworking and working with your hands. So, okay, so I'm gonna continue on. And again, here's what the pad cut looks like. You see that we're taking off that brass, right? We're getting that brass residue on there. So I'm gonna do this one more time. And then I'm gonna go from my 800, I'll probably go up to 1,000, then 1,500, and then ultimately I'll go to 2,000 or 3,000, and then we'll call it good, and we'll move on to the buffing section. So again, as I move through all my standing grits, just ask your questions. You got anything to say, I'll respond to comments, and we'll just kind of keep the thing going on. The goal is to finish up this piece, and then I want to finish up this long piece, which doesn't take very long. It looks like it might, but it doesn't. We'll finish this piece up. That way I can show you what it's like on this crazy desk that I built. Okay, we sell these desks for about 20,000 bucks a piece. Generally, celebrities buy these. The last one we sold to was one of the most iconic rappers that is right here in St. Louis. So very cool. Okay, let's go. And again, I always wear gloves because you're gonna get the metal dust everywhere. It just there's just no way to get around it. Get you guys a better view here. And again, this time, a lot of rotation. I want to work out that high center spot. And then again, I want that nice transition from my radius to my flat spot. So I'll continue to work this thing. So I'm curious, the gentleman that's from Seattle, one of the things that kind of bugs me about Seattle these days is when I go there, there's a lot of homeless people, a lot of drugs, a lot of nodders, as we call them. I don't know, have they cleaned that up recently? Has that gotten any better? Because that's always like a major turnoff for me. Like, I just love going down there on the pier and going up and running. Like, if you're down on the pier and you basically run on that path that's there, they'll take you over to this, it's like a country club, yacht club, I guess maybe what you call it. You go up around the bend there, really cool path. But again, the freaking homeless people that you got to go through, it's just a major turnoff over there. So I'm curious if that's gotten any better. So brass is soft, guys. Brass sands pretty well. You know, obviously not as well as wood, but doesn't take that long. And brass is highly machinable. You can run router bits through it. You can run it through table saws. You can run it through band saws. You do want a higher tooth blade, obviously, but it machines really well. So don't be afraid to cut it. Just make sure you use non-ferrous metal blades. And like I said, it cuts pretty well. So, okay. So as I look at this one, again, come back in here one more time. You guys will see that now a lot of that is gone, right? There still might be a couple of spots in there. So looks like I can see a little spot right there. You guys see that one? So I can still see some of it. And you'll kind of learn to gauge what you can live with and what you can't live with. So let's do our other piece here real quick. We'll sand through this and we'll move on. Give me just a second, guys. I'll get their question. So you guys can see how much dust this stuff picks up. And again, you don't have to use water. I use water on the higher grits. It's not necessary. Let's do it. We'll sand this piece without any water. And again, normally I don't recommend using DA sanders or oscillating sanders, whatever you want to call it, on flat surfaces. I generally like to flat sand most of this stuff. But for demonstration purposes, I'm moving a little bit faster. We'll go ahead and do this. And I'll explain to you guys why here. Give me just 1 second. So as we start to use our Festool sander, okay, this is a hard pad. We got a hard pad before our sandpaper, okay? When you sand this stuff, now look, do you guys see? See where it's shiny and where it's not shiny? So what's happening is, even though the pad is hard, the metal's obviously much harder, and sanding pad wants to kind of roll the edges just a little bit. And again, at the very beginning, I don't think that's necessarily, a problem, but this is one of the reasons I use a flat sander. I'll use a block on most of these things and just block sand them, which kind of sucks. But again, when you're spending so much money on a desk, part of the specialness of buying a desk like this is the hours that go into it, right? Putting in the time. So that's one of the reasons I do these videos, so I can show my customers, hey, this is how your thing's made, and they kind of like that stuff. So anyway, that's kind of what we got going on there. Let's look at, we got more comments coming in. Say hi to people real quick. I appreciate everyone being here. If you're in the stream, hit the like button, add the discussion, subscribe. My name is Eric Wilk, and I own the Resplendent Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We make about 500 pieces of furniture a year. We're kind of a boutique company. We're known for our high gloss lacquer coating. We're kind of the Kleenex of high gloss lacquer, if you will, which is fine. We have about 8 employees. We do a low 7 figures in revenue, and it's a great middle class living. And I'm always pushing for American made, more people to start businesses, and I'm trying to show you guys, like, you can do this stuff. It's cool to have a business. It's fun to do this work, and it's good for you. So, okay. Let's see, this is, who's this? Is this Steger Johnny C21 or TT, excuse me, C2T. I'm in Florida, right on, man. I sent a lot of furniture to Florida, guys. Holy hell. All right, let's see, Young Medicinal, we read your comment. Nobody, man, what a great movie that was. Okay, Iran needs new furniture now. Yeah, man, Iran's gonna need a lot of furniture, right? I don't think they're gonna want my furniture, though. Though, like Abu Dhabi, like, my furniture is actually really popular over there, so maybe I need to expand who I sell my furniture to. All right, Tumquat. Let's see. Oh no, not at all. A lot of them still. I used to run that waterfront also. I had to run through a camp. They have cleaned it up. They've cleaned it up a bit, but they just relocated. Yeah, and that's a tricky thing, man. Seattle is such a beautiful place. And Portland, where I'm from, same deal. Like, they just, for whatever reason, once these people get there, it's very difficult to get them out. But anyway, I do a political cast every day. I talk about some kind of a political topic or a current event every morning, but I'll try not to make this anything about that. This is all pretty much work. So I just wanted to ask about Seattle because, again, it's where I'm from, man. Once you've been lived in the Pacific Northwest, you're always a Pacific Northwesterner. So, okay, continue on with the sanding. And again, man, Seattle, holy hell. I did a Spartan Beast race when I was in Seattle last time. It's 13.1 miles. You got to climb up mountains and carry heavy shit all over the place, and a little bit of swimming, and it's a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed it. Did it with my sister. She lived out on Whidbey Island. So if you guys don't know about Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, there's a lot of islands out there. A lot of people live on these islands, and they literally take ferries all over the place. You take ferry, then you get off the ferry, you hop on the train, take the train, takes you into downtown Seattle, and you can go to work. So pretty cool place. Some of those islands are just magical, man. They look like something out of like a Thomas Kincaid photo or something. So really special place. Okay, so another thing I'll show you guys. So when I do all my metal work, one of the things that I do is, see the B there? I label everything, right? So I know exactly what position this particular piece of metal goes in, and I have everything that I do is labeled. So the outside is labeled B. So actually what I need to do on the inside now is I need to label the inside B, because the B references the top, and it also represents the position or the orientation of where the metal goes on this particular cabinet. So I need to change that. All right, so again, notice all of the mill marks, right? So that's from the extruding process. That's when they make the metal. That's the stuff that you're trying to get out. And that's what, again, people leave in when they're doing regular old buffing. They don't take any of that stuff out, and it just looks like garbage. So continuing on. Let's see if we can find some. What do we got here? Again, this is for 800. That's for 800. Again, bear with me, guys. It's one of the things about these live streams. I end up looking for things a little bit. I try and plan everything out as best I can, but sometimes it takes me a minute. So, all right, continue. Oops. So I hope everyone is got good plans for the weekend. Holy crap, what is this? That's 2,000. Holy smokes. There we go. There's what we're looking for. So continuing on. Let's see. Comments are still the same. Okay, cool. All right. So as I work this extrusion out, we're starting to get rid of all the marks from the extruding process. And I think you guys can kind of see the time, so it takes, probably takes 5 to 10 minutes for every piece of trim to get those mill marks out. And that's the thing that is going to give us that super impressive shine that we're always looking for when we're working with metal. So now we can see, okay, there you go. See, now the entire thing is flat. And there, of course, is the area that we haven't sanded, right? So you kind of see how long it takes to get that those mill marks out of the metal. So, all right, I'm going to finish sanding this thing up. And like I said, put your comments in if you guys have any questions. And I'll just keep providing commentary. And normally, like I said, I have my microphone, so you don't hear the sander nearly as much. You can hear me a lot better, so I apologize. But it is what it is. So I'm curious what the woodworker that was in here, what are you working on? What kinds of things are you building? Are you trying to do this on your own full time? Do you do it part time? Do you do something else and you like the woodwork? Are you a nurse? Are you a doctor? Are you a cashier at a convenience store and you like to woodwork in your spare time? What is it that people do? Me, myself, I've been woodworking since the day I was born. I was lucky, my stepdad used to build bridges, and he fell off a pylon, broke his back, got disability from the Longshoremen's pension fund, or disability fund, I guess you call it, and had to go get a drafting degree, read a bunch of magazines, learned to make some furniture, put a piece of furniture in the one of the local admin buildings there in Corvallis, Oregon. Put that desk there for free, sold furniture to those guys for almost 25 years. My story is obviously a little bit different. I learned to do woodworking pretty young, but I just learned about sanding and doing staining and stuff like that. I didn't start working with table saws or any of that stuff till I was damn near 20 years old. And took it up again, learned it. I chased aviation jobs for about 20 years. It took me from Corvallis, Oregon to Wichita, Kansas, which is the aviation capital of the world, to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to Savannah, Georgia, and then finally to St. Louis, Missouri, where I'm at today. All right, guys, we're getting close. We're getting real close. And again, I don't know if water is better or worse, but I always just kind of like using water. It just kind of always seemed to be the way to go, but man, I don't know. And we're using 800. I mean, technically speaking, I guess we could go down to, you go down to 600 if you want, but then you just got to move your grits up. But we are close. There we go. Cut through all that, cut through all that. right, guys. Okay, so now we've got two pieces. So we've got a nice, even, consistent sheen, right? Nice, even, consistent sheen. And on the back side here, got the side that we haven't sand, okay? On our other piece, again, very consistent sheen on the radius part, which is the part that's going to protrude out from our desk, right? So a lot of you guys have seen things like chair molding, right? Or chair railing, excuse me, or wainscoting. This kind of does the same thing except on our desk, right? So very cool. Okay, comments are still good. All right, cool. Now we're moving on. I'm going to move up my grits. I'm going to go from 800 to 1,000. And again, it goes much faster as the grits move up. So we're going to go to 1,000. We'll go to 1,500, then 2,000, maybe 3,000. So it probably got another, like I said, it'll probably take me 10 minutes to work through all these grits. And then we'll pull out the buffing wheel and we'll start doing the buffing process. We'll get all this brass polished up beautifully. And then we're going to put it on the cabinet. The cabinet's sick, guys. This desk is just, it literally looks like a Steinway piano. It's probably better than a Steinway piano. So if you guys are on YouTube right now, you can go to my Instagram. I put whatever the hell you call it, not a live, but a short. Is it a short? Yeah. I put a short on there about this finish. It's freaking sick, guys. Okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of do the same thing I did before, working this thing over. And as we run through these sanding grits, it'll progressively get shinier and shinier and shinier, and it'll look really good, but then once you put it on the buffing wheel, you realize that it looked like crap until you started polishing it, and then the shine just goes through the roof. It's just absolutely beautiful. Let me turn my camera down so you guys can see what we got going on here. I know you guys don't want to see my beautiful face. So again, same deal, just kind of working this thing back and forth, making sure that I hit that flat spot that I had on top, and that I'm rolling over the radius into the flat spot so that I don't actually have, you know, that flat spot. All right, done with that one. On to the next one. And again, the first grit is the thing that's working out all the imperfections. You're taking out all the low spots, all the high spots. You're doing all that work. The next grits are just basically taking all the swirl marks out, or excuse me, all the sanding marks out of the previous grits. And it just makes it easier. It's easier to polish out 3,000 grit sanding marks than it is to polish out 1,500 grit sanding marks. And that's all we're doing. I guess I should say buff. You guys remind me in the comments if you guys are still in here by the end of the stream. I got a lacquered cabinet in from a company called Theodore Alexander, right? They're a well-known company in North Carolina. Excuse me, guys. They make some of their furniture in Vietnam, right? I'm always telling you guys about the furniture industry and how a lot of businesses are making their furniture in China and Vietnam. And a person paid full price for their cabinet, sent it to us just so we could paint it for them using our high gloss lacquer. That piece of furniture came in already high gloss lacquered, and I want to show you guys why our company sells credenzas for $10,000 and Theodore Alexander sells them for $4,000. And it has everything to do with the finish. And so I'll show you guys the difference in quality between a Resplendent Crow finish and the quality of a long time, you know, whatever 7-year-old company like Theodore Alexander. And this is what's happening to every industry in America, guys. It's not just furniture. It's what's happened in the automotive industry. It's what's happened in the clothing industry. It's what happened in every industry. Okay, so we're using 1,000 grit. Now we're going to move up to 1,500. 1,500 is our 3M Trizac. And again, the 3M stuff is sick. Very expensive, but well worth it. It's worth every freaking penny, guys. The 3M stuff this stuff is probably 50%, excuse me, 100% more expensive than the Klingspor. Just for reference. All right, so I'm getting it higher up on grits. I'm gonna throw some water on everything. Now we're starting to get some actual shine going on here. A lot of people see this and they think, man, that's a lot of work. Like, I don't know if I'd want to do that. There's a demographic of people, this is all they want to see. They want to know that when they buy something, that it was handmade by a guy in a shop in middle America. And there's a lot of these people out there, guys. So if you're interested in learning about woodworking, or you want to start a small business that requires a handmade product where you literally put hundreds, if not thousands of hours into something, there are a lot of people in America that'll pay you for it. And I think there's going to be a lot of people in the Middle East that'll pay for it, you know, so bear that kind of stuff in mind. And when you sell something that's lust-worthy, people will pay whatever they got to pay to get it. That one. We're going to hit this one more time, and then we'll wipe it all down. We'll kind of look and see where our finish is at after 1,500 grit. Again, if you guys are in the stream, I appreciate it. Anyone that hangs out in these streams, anyone that comes back and puts in a comment, subscribes, hits the likes button, all that kind of stuff, I really do appreciate it. Again, the goal is just to show people on this channel that you can be a dumb guy from Corvallis and have your own business. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to come from money. You can grow up dirt poor, and it's possible. You can have a business that you can leave to your kids. You can have a business that you can sell and retire off of. That second. Oh yeah, I'm starting to get some shine now. Yeah, this is already looking significantly better. Okay, let's wipe this all down. We'll kind of take a look at what we got here. So we're on 1,500. We got to go up to, what did I say, 3,000? So you can go up as high as you want. Doesn't really matter. The higher the grit, the less you got to polish. Is really, I should keep saying polish. I mean, in this case, it's buffing. We polish paint. We buff metal. So, all right. So we're starting to get a little bit of shine on here. Not very much. It still looks pretty satiny or matte toned, if I'm being completely honest. But this one here, you could probably see a little bit something better on this one since we got more surface area to look at. Let's wipe it down real quick. All right, so this is oops, the end here. There's our metal. This is our extrusion. Again, you're starting to get a little bit more shine on there. Get better, right? So 1,500, so now we'll go through 2,000, we're gonna go through 3,000, and then like I said, we'll bust out the buffer and we'll start buffing up our metal. So just bear with me a little bit more. And again, we don't have comments, so I'm not gonna worry about comments. All right, so now we got 2,000. This is our Mirka outer lawn. All right. Boy, I can already tell the allergies are coming out. Holy smokes. Right. A little bit more lubey water. So funny thing, when I started doing woodworking and working with my hands, everyone told me I was a fool. I needed to go to college. Only losers work with their hands, all this kind of stuff. And it ended up working out pretty good. Turns out that doing hard shit, you always have a job, man. You're always going to have stuff to do. People are always going to need people that want to do hard things and dirty jobs and all that kind of stuff. That Mike Rowe guy, he did a pretty good job illustrating how dirty jobs keep you employed. I always love that guy's show, man. That show was great. But when I started when I started building furniture, I never really thought of it as like a money-making endeavor. I never really thought of furniture making as this thing that would allow me to do things that I never thought that I'd be able to do. And it turned into where, yeah, I was making a little bit of money. I tried a couple times to start businesses, and I just didn't have it. Like, I didn't have what it took to get a business going. I didn't have, like I said, I couldn't piece it all together. And then I met my wife, and she was kind of a marketing guru, and so she started kind of marketing our product more and marketing our capabilities, you know, how we could make things, modify things, and work with metal, do these different kinds of paint things. And before you know it, we got $1 million company on our hands. And it turned into where we started making really good money, and things were going great. And then COVID came. And we thought that we weren't going to be in business at all, and everything dried up for almost like 2 months, and everyone freaked out. You know, we're trying to figure out how to go find jobs. We're thinking that our business is over. Wildly scary times. And then it was almost like a switch flip. And we went from doing, I don't know, we went from doing something like probably 200 or 300 pieces a year to doing 1,500 pieces a year in 1 year. And so we're just, you know, we're buying, you know, every material we can get our hands on. We're buying up all the antique furniture we can possibly get our hands on. We're buying up, like I said, all the materials that we can get. We're hiring everybody, and it turned into where we got a 10-year education in business in like 2 or 3 years because of COVID. It was freaking wild times. But some of the things that I learned, for anyone that wants to get in the furniture business or wants to become a successful woodworker, is making one-off stuff is awesome, right? That's what every woodworker wants to do. They want to get rich, you know, or at least make a good living, making custom pieces for people and one-off projects, and that is true. That's the dream, right? Having the wood burning fireplace in the shop, you know, there's a foot of snow on the ground outside, the dog's over in the corner. Everybody wants that dream, and you can get a version of it, but it's very difficult, and it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of resources. It takes just a lot of everything. What made it possible for me to do one-off projects whenever I wanted, to do all that kind of stuff, is I started building furniture that other people would want in larger quantities, right? And we still make it all right here in St. Louis. I don't farm any of it out to Vietnam or China. And you're not going to make as much money because you're paying Americans and you're paying American wages and you're using American products, and you got to put up with all the bullshit of all of our regulations here. But selling 50 of the same thing every year gives you the resources and the time to then go work on one-off projects, to do all the fun, you know, you can actually underbid a lot of them, and then you can get them. You can do all that fun stuff because of the production furniture, right? So another quick tip for people is don't be afraid to make furniture that appeals to a lot of people. I think one of the things that I've seen on YouTube is a lot of the popular woodworkers, a lot of the stuff that they make on YouTube, it's all bullshit. Like, no one's going to buy it. The reason that they're able to do it is because they have YouTube dollars, right? Which, again, no shade on those guys. But when you have YouTube dollars, that becomes your business. Your business is YouTube and content creation. We weren't able to do that. We had to actually make furniture that people would buy, right? We had to make really, you know, things that a lot of people were interested in, and that's how we grew this business, you know. So more information and knowledge for you guys, anecdotes, whatever you want to call them. All right, last one. So now we're on to our 3,000. Let's get our 3,000 going on, and then we're going to move on to the buffing stage, and we'll see if we can't make this stuff shine the way we want it to. And I'll show you guys this desk, and yeah, it should be awesome. I'm excited. So again, now we're up to 2,000, right? So we're starting to see some shine. You guys see that now? So we're starting to get real shine. There's what we started with, right? So again, that was our first initial pass of 800. You can see we still got mill marks, extrusion marks, but now it's all gone. We're starting to get the shine just from sandpaper, okay? So remember, the buffing is the thing that makes it just insanely beautiful. All right, continuing on, more soapy water. Any of you guys like this kind of content? I try to put out a video once a week, a live stream, once a week about how to do some aspect of woodworking, whether that's build something, whether it's working with metal, maybe learning how to use CAD. I've been using SolidWorks for 15 years. I used to design airplane parts in CAD. So technically I was a woodworker. I was also a design engineer. And again, never graduated high school. Just became super useful. I did work for Boeing Defense Center. I've worked on all the major defense planes, the E-4B program, the Doomsday planes, did all that work. I've worked on Michael Jordan's plane. I've worked on the Dallas Cowboys plane, Taylor Swift's plane, Rush Limbaugh before he died. I did his plane. It's just everything you guys can think of in the aerospace space. At least I think. Oh yeah, this is looking good. Yeah, we're getting somewhere now, guys. Holy hell. This is looking great. So I'm curious what people do. You guys are in the stream right now, you're watching this content, you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button. Let me know what it is that you do right now. Do you guys like to watch streamers do stuff on YouTube? Are you woodworkers? What is it that you guys do? Because I'm kind of curious, who's the audience for this stuff, right? Is it a lot of older people? Is it guys? Is it girls? Is it teenagers? Who is it? Because the data that I see, middle of the day on a Friday, it's usually older retired men that watch this stuff. So I'm not always sure who I'm talking to or who this stuff is for, but I'm definitely curious. Obviously, I know where some of you are from. Some of you said you're from Florida. Some of you said that you're from Seattle, my old stomping ground. So I'm wildly curious. All right, guys. So this is going to be. Let's see if I can get. Sorry, guys. Let me try and get you a little better image. Let's pull this back. All right. So here's 3000 grit. Right. So you see, we're starting to get an actual bit of shine going on now. So now we got something that's a little bit more. We got a little bit of reflective properties now. So we're getting there. It's looking really, really slick. So I'm real happy with this. So let's down this last thing. And actually, you know what we'll do? So this is 3000. So I've got 4,000 too. We'll go ahead and hit it with 4,000 real quick, just because it's not taking that much time. And we'll see the different reflective properties, and then we'll start the buffing. So a little more water, soapy water. Yeah, I love making these desks for people. They're so much fun. I might sell one of them a year. I've had years where I haven't sold them before, but this was one of the very first pieces of furniture I ever built for the Resplendent Pro. We had a designer that wanted us to build a $100,000 desk that was on First Dibs. And it was this old, turn of the century lacquered desk that had all this brass over it. And what they did was, in order to attach the brass at the turn of the century, they had to use nails, right? They didn't have the epoxies and the cool technology that we have now. So they had all these nails over it, and it looked okay, but it just, kind of looked like an antique dated piece of furniture. So we took that same design, we added our new and improved high gloss lacquer coating and our epoxy technology and the stuff that I've learned in aerospace, and we're able to put all this metal on without any fasteners. And if it should ever go bad, if it should ever get dinged, it has to be replaced, you can heat this metal up and you can replace it, right? You can then pull the epoxy off using things like RTB silicone. If you guys know anything about the private jet industry, that's how they attach everything on a private jet. It's all freaking epoxy and RTB silicone, especially all of your plated metal. Because not a lot of things stick to plated metal. RTB silicone sticks great. And actually has a lot of really good holding properties. All right, so there is our 3000, and holy hell, guys, this is looking good. Again, I appreciate everyone hanging out. If you guys are in the stream and you've already hit the like button, added to the discussion, again, always appreciate it. I see we got 10 likes on this video, which I think is fantastic. When I do my political streams, we get thousands of people in here, and you get tons of comments, and I can never keep up. It's actually nice to have a little bit of a low-key kind of a discussion. So, all right, so here's our 3000. So we'll go ahead and we'll do 4,000 since we got a bunch of people in here. Let's see what this is going to look like. And I say let's do 4,000. Let's see if I can find it. 4,000, 4,000. Here we go. This is, all right, so this is also Mirka Avalon 4,000, okay? And again, it's going to be a soft pad. And we use these for furniture polishing. Furniture wet sanding. Don't generally use this stuff for metal, but it's all we got here today, so that's what we're going to use. And we'll just do one piece. I just want to show you guys the difference between the 3,000 grit shine that we have on our piece of brass, right? This is 3,000 grit. Now let's go over to 4,000. Let's just kind of look at the difference real quick because we're already here. And we'll see what this thing looks like. All right, a little bit of water on my pad. Last side, and you're going to end up with a wet, dirty surface. So obviously, you want to do it on a surface that can be wiped off again when you're doing this kind of stuff. Normally, I do my What's the Shop cast on Friday or Saturday. But if you guys are in this cast towards the end, if you guys want me to go through and do What's in the Shop, I can show you guys some of the furniture that we got going in. It's getting ready to get shipped out. I can show you guys some of that stuff now in this cast since we're all here. Otherwise, I'll probably do it tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna go with this, and then let's buff out the buffing wheel. I think I've made you guys wait long enough. And again, I appreciate anyone that hangs out and likes to watch this kind of content, because I got to do the work anyway. I might as well show everyone how it's done. That's how you do it. Yeah. Okay. Now we're at 4,000, right? So again, you see the improvement. So as we're moving these grits up, we're getting massive improvements in the level of clarity, right? And the funny thing about the clarity, guys, is we could probably just leave this brass just like this. We probably don't even need to buff it, if I'm being completely honest with you. I mean, it looks so good. Most people aren't gonna know that this isn't polished brass. It looks that good, you know? So when we bust out the buffing wheel, it's gonna look 10 times better. And this is the thing that I'm always trying to explain to people. When you buy products from the Resplendent Crow, we take the time, we really do a good job. And again, we show people what we do. And if you guys want to create value, you want to create demand for your product, again, show people what they're paying for. You want to charge someone a big chunk of cash, show them why they're paying you and not, you know, Dim over in China, right? Why should they buy from you instead of Restoration Hardware, who makes all their furniture in Vietnam, right? Okay, let's bust out the old buffing wheel. My mom always gives me shit when I start talking like she just says I talk like a hick. All right. Here is our buffing wheel, right here like so. So you got this big bad boy, right? This is like a 1-horse motor. Let's get you guys a better view here. Let's see, bring my camera down just a skosh. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do is I kind of want to sand on the corner of my bench if I can. Just makes it a little bit easier to have that room. And actually, no, we're going to do it this way. We're just going to use one side. I don't need to use both sides for this demonstration. Let me get a clamp, guys. Hold on. Got to clamp our buffing wheel down. So let's throw a couple clamps in here. And again, this is all just for demonstration purposes. Ugh. All right, so we got a couple settings on our buffer, right? We got a high and a low. And then we got an on-off button, and basic. So we're going from like 1,700 RPMs to maybe 3,400 RPMs. I like to use the 1,700 quite a bit. to kind of get things going. But ultimately, you're going to have to move up to the higher speed to make things go quicker, right? Otherwise, you're just going to end up with a super hot piece of metal. It's going to take forever to work with. So that's what we're going to do. Let me grab, we're going to grab our Tripoli compound. We're going to grab our, I don't know what it's called, buff tool, cleaner tool, wheel tool, something like that. So the compounds that we're going to use, I've got a bunch of them, but for this process, all we're going to need is one of them, right? So we got some little Tripoli compound, right, which is going to go onto our wheel, right? This thing's buffing. This has a bunch of teeth on it. We're going to use this to rake our buffing wheel, right? It's going to get the old compound off. It's going to get it's going to make the wheel nice and plush and pliable again, because what happens is that compound gets in there and it gets all hard, kind of clay-like, you know, so you got to get that shit off the wheel and get it to be pliable again, right? So let's try and get you guys a better view. I'm going to come over around here. I think we're going to try coming a different way, guys. Hold on. Let's try this. We're going to go right here. Again, you guys can see I've got this beautiful faux bamboo hutch that I got to do something on, which is gonna suck ass. Apparently the client forgot to measure for the height. They want to put a coffee maker in this thing. They forgot to measure the height of the coffee maker, so now they want me to raise the whole entire hutch up. So that'll be fun. We'll see if we can get them to pay for it. We'll see how bad they really want it. Everybody always wants something, and then you tell them the price, and they're like, I don't know about that. So we'll see. Okay, so here we are. We got our wheel here. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty good view, I think. I think we're in good shape there. Okay, so I'm going to start out in low, turn my wheel on. We're going to rake the pad, right? Again, you can touch the thing. It's not going to kill you. You just don't want to touch the backside because it's bing, it's shoot shit at you. So stick our wheel in here. Just cleaning the wheel off. It's not going to hurt you. Again, as long as you're not on the backside of a moving wheel, you're going to be fine. Anywhere under the first half of the wheel, you're golden. On the backside, you're gonna get what's coming to you. So, okay, a little bit of our buffing compound. Again, throw that on the front. We're just put a little bit on there. Let that stuff get off the wheel. Then we're gonna start with our bullnose piece, right? We got a nice little 1/4-inch bullnose on here. So, what I like to do. So this is something that nobody ever taught me, and I don't know if this is the correct way to do it, but this is what I do because it seems to work. Okay, you're gonna think that just moving it up and down like so is going to be the way to go. You maybe just kind of move it around a little bit and you kind of get it to buff the way that you want, okay? That doesn't work very well. What really works is to basically move in an elliptical motion up and down, right? So in this case, I'm going to move in an elliptical motion as I'm moving down. And what this does is it creates more buffing friction and gets more of that surface area to be in contact with a buffing wheel for a longer period of time. So the back and forth action, that's for rookies. Do the elliptical motion up and down. That seems to be the best way to do it. So, all right. So Dick Halsey. And again, you can touch it. It's not going to hurt you one bit. Let's see if I can get in here just a little bit closer. That's why we do these live streams. I want you guys to see this kind of stuff. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you. So again, we're coming in, and I'm looking at you guys because it doesn't really matter to me. I'm feeling the metal move along the wheel. I might go to the side. It's okay. Not going to hurt anything. We keep going, but it's all about feel. This is what working with your hands is. This is what woodworking is. This is what metalwork is. It's all about what you hear and what you feel on that machine. I can literally tell you what's going on any tool in my business just by feeling it or listening to it. So again, we're moving down just like so. We're starting to pick up heat, right? So brass is a magnificent conductor for heat. If you create heat in one spot of a 36-inch piece of brass, it will move its way all the way through the brass. It just transfers heat so well. All right, now we come to the end. We just flip it around, do the same thing. Now we're all the way to the end, okay? So let me get my turn this thing off here a little bit. I don't want to get my rag on my wheel here. That's what I really need you guys. Give you guys something really to watch out. Eric gets grabbed by the wheel and gets flung across the shop. All right, so get all the compound off of this thing. That's really what I'm trying to get off here. All right, so this is just the initial buff, okay? And again, this one's hard, a little bit harder to see. On the next one, you guys will really see it, but we have actually a beautiful shine on there. It's a gorgeous shine. And again, I know it's probably not the best. You're not getting the best view of this little tiny radius, but it really does look amazing. Once I set this inside of that pedestal over there, next to that crazy black, super high gloss shine, you'll see the contrast of the shine on the brass blow you guys away, okay? So this piece of metal, I did the slow part. Now, let's look at this one. All right, so again, this one has a pretty impressive shine already. Looks fantastic. I can probably get away with not doing much more to this, okay? Now, let's buff it and see what it looks like. Again, same deal. I'm just gonna add myself just a little tiny bit. And again, I'm only going on the slow side. A lot of times I use the fast one. It just works a little bit quicker. And we'll do a little bit of the fast one here in a minute. All right, a little bit more compound. Here we go. So I'm just gonna do one side. We'll look at the shine, and then you guys can see the contrast between the 4000 grit paper and then the buffing side, okay? Get same motion. And I'm putting moderate pressure on here, not very much pressure. And again, it's that elliptical circle type motion as we move down the metal. Flip it over. And again, this is one time through our buffing wheel. So a lot of times I'll run this stuff through it maybe 3 or 4 times when I buff it. You know, it just kind of depends on, you know, how much I got to buff to get the right shine. Okay, so let's take a peek at what we've got so far. So there's the buff side, okay? Again, I apologize if I'm not doing a good job with the light. But again, we got nice reflective qualities. There's what we started with originally, right? There's what we have after the buffing, and then here's the sanded side, okay? And in the picture right now, it almost looks like the sanded side isn't too bad, right? This looks very similar. But if you're here in person, you can see the clarity, the reflective properties are significantly better on the buffing side, okay? So let's hit it one more time. We're gonna speed the buffing wheel up to 3400, and then we'll get a really nice shine going on this thing. I'll show you guys what this looks like, and then we'll end the stream. I can answer any questions you guys have. You guys want to know anything about the equipment, you want to know anything about the process, anything about the papers, whatever, we'll answer all those things. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna rake the wheel one more time. How about allergies are just going crazy? All right, rake the wheel. A little bit of compound. All that good. Now we're going to turn this thing up to much faster, right? Here we go. You guys can already hear it. And same deal, guys. Again, touching the thing, it's not going to hurt you. You're going to be all right. Just don't touch it on the back side. And again, the speed, you can already hear it chattering and kicking back a little bit. Now, if we come in and we choke up, as they say, you get a lot less. If you hold it back there, that metal is flexing just a tiny bit. But again, same motion, guys. You can literally hear the metal as it's working on the wheel. Flip our metal over. Now we're getting some heat, okay? I can already feel this thing. It's starting to warm up quite a bit. But again, we're going double the speed. All right, oh yeah. Now she's pretty, right? And again, no swirl marks, guys. No milling marks. I get, I'm an importer of hardware from the country of India. I get a lot of hardware made there. I got 2 manufacturing facilities that make it for me. And the stuff that comes in there is just, the quality just is nothing like what we can do here in America. And it's not because they don't have the tools or the same stuff we do. They do. They just don't have the eye for quality. Okay, so here you go. Here's the end product, guys. So the end product is wildly reflective. It's fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful. It almost has perfect clarity. Like if I look down this thing, I'm trying to see if I can see any scratches. I mean, there's got to be one in here. Okay, I might be able to see a little bit of something right there. You guys aren't going to be able to see it, but there's maybe a little tiny swirl. And there's a couple more right here. So maybe I didn't favor this side very much. There's a couple little, again, you guys probably aren't going to be seeing them. They're little sandy marks. But so this is our polished side. This is our, so we go from polished to sanding. This is 4,000 grit. And it's pretty good. Like I said, 4,000 is pretty insane, guys. It really is really pretty. But that buff side just has much more of a reflective quality. And then if we go to the back side, here's kind of what we started with when we first just ran our sander over there so you guys could see the mill marks, okay? So we took it from that up to that. And again, stunning reflective qualities, okay? Really good. So, okay, now let's go ahead and, you guys have been here this long. I'm gonna take you over to this desk. I wanna show you guys this desk real quick and just the insane amount of clarity again. Let's stick some of this metal on there and kind of look and so you guys can kind of see what it is we're trying to do when we create lust with our furniture. So we'll start here. Let's take you guys into, again, sorry guys, I got the old tripod here. So we're running you guys into our paint shop. And again, I'll probably take my stuff here off the, this is the top, okay? So hold on, let me grab my camera here. I'm gonna flip you guys around. All right, here we go. So let me flip this around here. Okay, so this is the top, okay? So if I come on here, you guys see this? You guys see the clarity? It's literally like a mirror, 100%. You can see it, you can tell the shirt that I'm wearing is gray, I've got glasses on. You can see it all, okay? And this is what we do here. This is what creates this lust, okay? Again, you guys see we got a pink door up there, we got lights, all these. You can see the clarity in my ceiling, all right? So this is what we do. All right, now, along here is where all of this metal is gonna go. Okay, so you're gonna get this beautiful contrast. And again, I've got tape on here right now, but I'm gonna see if I can slip this metal on here if there's enough room in there to do that. So let me, sorry guys, I gotta put this back on my tripod, and then I'll show you guys what we got going on here. Okay, so we'll take our metal right here. Let's see, pan back here. Take our metal like so. Let's find our good side, and this is going to slide on there. Ah, there's too much paint buildup. Okay, hold on, guys. I have to peel off a piece of this. Tape here. Bear with me. This might take me a second. We'll see how easy this stuff comes off. And this is one of the things that we do when we're doing these paint jobs, is that we generally tape off anywhere where we're going to put metal, because we want that metal to fit tight. We pre-fit everything, and then we want to have a good surface that we can bond to. So that's one of the reasons that we do it that way. And I'm hoping that I don't peel my paint. Normally I like to score this stuff before I take it off, but we're just gonna go for broke here because we're on a live stream and I don't want to be off camera too much. Okay, I think this might be as brave as I'm gonna get, guys. Normally I have to score the edge of the tape. I don't want to try to peel the tape, otherwise I'm gonna pull the, I risk pulling the metal or the paint off the good finisher. Okay, so we'll take this thing and we'll set it on here like so. That's as far as I'm gonna get with all my tape in it. Let me show you guys what I got going on here. Turn my camera around. So this is our sanded surface, okay? So you guys see, and again, I can't go any closer, guys, because I got to score that tape off there. But you see the beautiful contrast, okay, between our beautiful plate or our beautiful polished brass, right? Like so. Again, there IMC. You see the nice reflective qualities in there. And then we come on top, and again, now you've got the beautiful top here, okay? I'll end up probably lacquering all this. I may wax it. I'm not just sure what I'm going to do. Again, remember, now all this is going to wrap around the entire top, okay? So that's what I do here, guys. When I tell you guys how to polish metal, this is what I'm doing. This is the end product. This is what we're doing with it, you know? So you guys do with that information what you will. Now let's go look at the pedestal. We polished up that piece with the bull nose on. I'll show you guys where that goes on the side of our pedestal in here. And again, I hope you guys find this interest in this and find this kind of value in here. I don't think a lot of people do this kind of work. I don't think that a lot of people understand that chicks like this kind of stuff. Like, I have a furniture company, and I basically sell predominantly to women. So, okay, what we got here is we got a pedestal, okay? Let me see if I can get you guys just a little bit closer. We got a pedestal, and again, this is all where this metal is going to go. One of the things that we do is we put, if I take this out there, right? We put strips of wood inside of our channel where our metal is going to go. Now, normally what I got to do is I got to take a piece of 80 grit sandpaper on essentially a little piece of laminate, and we go in here and we kind of sand and open up this channel, and then we slip our metal in there, okay? So let me grab a piece of metal that we polished here. Right here, like so. So the piece of material like this. Now this, again, I guess it's not going. This is for the desktop, but the idea is that our brass is going to slip in there like so. Sorry guys, I probably don't give you the best view here. It's going to slip right in here like so. So again, we end up with the beautiful contrast of the black, the high gloss black, and then the highly polished brass, and it creates a stunning piece. If I'm being completely honest, it creates a one of a kind, very unique piece of furniture that again you're just not going to see a lot of people making today. So. Anyway, that's kind of what we got for you guys. So I wanted to show you guys how I do my polishing. I got to do polishing all day, so I was going to do this work anyway. I hope you guys found a little bit of value in this, and I hope that gives you something different to think about and shows you guys that people do this work. This is actual real work. Got a real company here in St. Louis. Got about 8 employees. Been in business for about 10 years, and it works. The business model works of making things in America. So. All right, a couple of comments in here. It says, see, Scorps 25, very interesting. Oh, Titan Brew's in here. All right, thanks for the stream. That table is going to look great when it's finished. Yeah, Titan Brew's going to be amazing. Like I said, it's we sell. Like I said, I try and sell about one of those a year. It's very difficult to sell them. There's not a lot of people that are going to spend that much money on something, but it is kind of cool. Other cool projects we got coming up here at the Crow. We got a 22-foot table that's made of. We haven't decided if it's crotch mahogany yet or walnut burl. So those are some big, really cool projects that are going on. Big, massive, 24-foot tall pieces of Douglas fir, right? Big, massive ass panels that we have to put in the front entrance of a massive home in Austin. We'll probably end up doing that project, and that's another crazy, wild project, So anyway, let's see, so Cheryl 9162, I love it. Very valuable information. Good. That's what I want you guys to know. I know these streams don't get nearly the amount of people that I get when I talk politics and current events, but they're not supposed to. Like I said, the intent of this stream is to show you guys that there are people that do this kind of work, and you guys can do it too. You don't have to be intelligent. You don't have to be rich. Just show your customers what you do. Show them why they're paying the price that they're paying for your product. Show them that you guys do this work, and it works. It's a good business model. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. I'll do What's in the Shop with you guys tomorrow and show you guys what we got going on. I got my CNC router almost done. I got obviously this desk I'm gonna be working on today. I've got tons of credenzas in final assembly, and I got tons of them here in the wood shop. We're just building tons of these things. I just can't get enough of this dang Zang credenza. So anyway, you guys, I love it. I appreciate you spending the time, and hopefully you found something of some kind of value in the stream. And you guys have a good week. I'll talk to you later.